Imagine a secret so dark, so disturbing that it will change humanity forever. A secret that's been hidden in the shadows, available only to the most powerful and the most privileged of the world, and you've just accidentally stumbled on it. You weren't supposed to know. You weren't supposed to see. But now that you have, you're faced with an impossible decision. Do you fess up and hope they'll let you live? Do you keep quiet, burying the secret deep into nightmares that'll haunt you for the rest of your life? Or do you do what Reddit user Worldaway Tweety did and share it with the entire world, knowing you'll face certain death? No matter what choice you make, no matter what you decide, it's too late now, and there's absolutely no going back. This is the story of the 4-Hour Tape. The dark truth behind humanity's existence, our true purpose on Earth, has been hidden from the public eye for hundreds of years. It's a secret so profound, so earth-shattering that it can only be known by a powerful select few. Or at least this is the premise of a really mind-blowing Reddit post about the 4-Hour Tape that's been making waves online. The post has been shared thousands of times, and it's as creepy as all hell. But is it real? I don't know. My motto is, I want to believe, but with this one, I really don't want to believe. I kind of would rather forget. I'd like to pretend it never happened. The 4-Hour Tape shares the story of Worldaway Tweety. Well, that's a mouthful. How about Worldaway? Worldaway is a low-level government employee who literally stumbled into a top-secret meeting for high-level government officials, all of them sworn to secrecy, to learn the dark truth behind the true meaning and purpose of life. And no, it's not 42. It's easy to see why this story has sparked so much interest online. The idea that our government is hiding yet another massive secret from us is rather tantalizing. And the notion that we're not alone in the universe, it's an idea that's fascinated humans for centuries. So yeah, a bit of a spoiler alert. According to Tweety, we're not alone in the universe. But what really sets the story apart is the reason behind all of the secrecy. Now, without Worldaway coming forward, the story is impossible to verify, and many are dismissing it as a work of fiction. Pictures and names, or it didn't happen. But the fact that it's gained so much interest and sparked, well, let's say, some rather lively debate, says a lot about our fascination with the unknown and our insatiable appetite for answers. True or not, it taps deep within our collective psyche, and I'm sure it'll be turned into a major motion picture soon enough. Probably with some sort of weird Blair Witch style found footage. Dibs on that idea. Tibor, get Nicolas Cage on the phone. So here's how the story goes. Worldaway, and I just know I'm going to screw that up at some point in this video, shares that after getting elected, presidents and governors are pulled into a room where they're all told the secrets of the world through the playing of a 4-hour-long video. I can't even watch a 1-minute tutorial without losing my freaking mind. 4 hours. That's a horror in itself. Maybe this is where we should just end the story. Anywho, the 4-Hour Tape, not to be confused with the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, has been an urban legend at the office where Worldaway works. The stuff of rumors and conspiracies, and now it turns out it may actually be true. So one night while working late, Worldaway prints a document to a network printer, but he sends it to the wrong printer by accident. A printer way up on the 7th floor. He makes his way to the 7th floor to get his document, and come to think of it, any normal low-level employee would have just reprinted it on the closest printer. As he's grabbing his papers, he notices a snack table in a meeting room, and I'm not kidding. All of this because of a frickin' snack. I'm guessing he went for the pink donuts with the sparkles because I know I would have. There's a group of people standing around the snack table, and an old TV sits on a cart at the front of the room, and a bunch of fancy folding chairs are neatly set up around it. The next thing you know, a very serious man corners Worldaway, claiming that he's 15 minutes late for this meeting. And before Worldaway can explain his way out, he's shuttled into the meeting room, cell phone taken away, he grabs a muffin, and I mean seriously, a muffin? Who eats muffins? And the seated group of men and women start watching the VHS video. Now this is an old video from the 40s or the 50s, it's in black and white, it appears to look very official, and it starts with a presidential-like insignia. The title of the video is The Committee for the Protection and Preservation of Human Consciousness. It appears to be a film in a room that looks very much like Congress. 50 or more people sit in a rather official capacity, and a choir stands poised and waiting in each corner of the room. The narrator, standing at a podium, talks about humanity having made contact with extraterrestrial life some 670 years ago. He goes on to explain that the aliens and the humans have made an agreement to ensure the preservation of the human species. According to this agreement, humans will be permitted to continue to exist on Earth, but there will be recurring visits from this intergalactic species who are known as, well, redacted. Yes, World Away is revealing the darkest, most secret ever in the history of the universe, but he's chosen to redact the name of the alien species. Why? Because he doesn't want to honor their existence by name. That's just lazy writing. 5 seconds on the alien species name generator, and I had the Accordions, the Stozans, the Urgans, the Kochiks, and the Quexels. When the Quexels come to visit, the leaders of Earth have agreed that they will be permitted to harvest and consume, for the basis of nourishment, a majority of the human population. Wait, what? But the deal is that the remaining humans are expected to breed and repopulate in massive numbers for each subsequent visit, and the next visit is going to be in the year 2028. Now, Worldaway is horrified by this revelation, and he feels like he's being pulled into some kind of twisted, messed up psychological experiment. And as much as he wants to run and escape, he continues to watch the tape with the rest of the group. And I mean, this thing is like 4 hours long, and all he has is one muffin. I've got a whole plate of pink donuts, and I'm only here for 20 minutes. The tape continues by showing choir performances of the national anthems from every country around the world. And fortunately enough for Worldaway, the man in charge decides to fast forward through these lengthy performances. The tape finally stops on the most horrifying, gruesome scene you could ever possibly imagine, which I'll tell you about in a few moments. But first, let's talk about how a good conspiracy theory works. What is it about conspiracy theories that makes them so appealing to so many people? To answer this question, we need to look at the psychological factors that contribute to the lure of conspiracy theories. One of the main reasons why people are drawn to conspiracy theories is that they provide a sense of control and agency. We're constantly bombarded with information and stimuli, and it can be really overwhelming to try to make sense of it all. Conspiracy theories offer a way to simplify complex events and phenomena, and to provide a clear explanation for what's happening in the world in such a way that's very easy to understand. Another reason why people are drawn to conspiracy theories is that they offer a sense of meaning and purpose in life. Personality traits also play a role in the appeal of these types of stories. People who are open to new experiences are more likely to be drawn to conspiracy theories. This personality type is more willing to consider new ideas and perspectives, often because they offer a new and exciting way of looking at the world. Exploring new ideas also offers a sense of excitement and adventure. Environmental factors also play a role in the appeal of these types of stories. Politics, economics, culture, and the stability of one's environment can all contribute to the appeal. And in times of economic uncertainty or social upheaval, people may be more likely to turn to conspiracy theories as a way to make sense of what's happening around them. In cultures where there is a strong sense of mistrust of authority, people may also be drawn to conspiracy theories because they offer a way to challenge that status quo and to question the powers that be. They can also fulfill psychological needs by providing a sense of community and belonging among believers. When people join a community of like-minded individuals who share their interests and passions, they can feel a sense of connection and belonging that they might not otherwise get to experience. This sense of community can be especially important in times of uncertainty or chaos, when people may be feeling isolated or disconnected from others. And stories of conspiracy can also offer a sense of moral clarity in a complex and often ambiguous world, where right and wrong are not always clear-cut. Cultural or social upheaval is also a factor that can contribute to the appeal of conspiracy theories. When people are faced with changes in their social or cultural environment, they may feel a sense of disorientation or discomfort, and conspiracy theories can provide a sense of stability and continuity. The elements of storytelling and narrative also play a crucial role in the spread of conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories often rely on compelling narratives and anecdotes to convey messages and to persuade people to believe in their claims. People are also more inclined to remember and share stories that are engaging and easy to understand rather than just a bunch of dry facts and figures. So conspiracy theories often use narratives that are designed to be memorable and shareable and that provide a sense of excitement and intrigue. Plus, also the creation of villains and heroes is another important aspect of a good conspiracy theory. This creates a clear narrative of good versus evil, leading to a sense of direction and guidance and purpose. The appeal of moral lessons and explanations is yet another factor that contributes to the spread of a really good conspiracy theory. Storytelling has the power to shape our beliefs and perceptions of the world. When we hear a story that is engaging and easy to understand, we're a lot more likely to remember it and share it with other people. This is because stories have the power to tap into our emotions and our imagination and to provide a sense of connection and meaning. Stories like the 4-Hour Tape tap into our beliefs and our perceptions of the world and provide answers to really difficult questions. One such question that has plagued mankind since the dawn of time is, what is the purpose of life and why are we here? The 4-Hour Tape proposes an answer, albeit an incredibly dark and hopeless one. While these stories have the ability to explain troubling issues, they can also be kind of dangerous. By promoting a narrative that is not based in fact, conspiracy theories can lead people to believe in false or misleading information. And this can have serious consequences, such as the spread of misinformation and the erosion of trust in institutions. Conspiracy theories can also be used to manipulate and control people for a very specific agenda. By creating a narrative that is designed to be persuasive and memorable, conspiracy theories can also be used to influence the beliefs and behaviors of vulnerable people. And conspiracy theories like those shared in stories like the 4-Hour Tape risk leaving people in despair with a sense of helplessness and hopelessness, or even worse, fear and anger. Now, skeptics of the 4-Hour Tape have been very fast to state their claims. While the story is engaging and well written, they say it's a work of fiction rather than a genuine account of a government employee's actual experience. The story's implausible elements, reliance on hearsay, unverifiable sources, and its use of literary devices all suggest that it's a creative writing piece rather than a factual account. They claim that it is, well, just too convenient and dramatic to be true. The protagonist, a low-level government employee, stumbles upon a top-secret meeting and is accidentally pulled into a room where he's shown a VHS tape containing classified information. This is kind of a classic trope in storytelling and fiction, but it's unlikely to ever happen in real life. There's no concrete evidence to support any of the claims. The story also mentions a Committee for the Protection and Preservation of Human Consciousness, but there's really no evidence that such a committee has ever really existed. And the story contains several implausible elements as well. For example, the protagonist is allowed to attend a top-secret meeting without proper clearance or vetting, and he's able to drive away from the very building without being stopped or even questioned. The story also implies that the government is aware of extraterrestrial life and that they've made a pact with an alien species, which skeptics claim has been thoroughly debunked by experts over the decades. The story has a clear narrative arc and uses literary devices to create tension and suspense. For example, the protagonist's emotional state is described in detail, and the story uses phrases like, "I felt adrenaline," and "I felt a nausea coming in," to create a sense of drama. And the story contains several humorous asides and wry observations. This suggests that the story is intended to be a work of fiction rather than a genuine first-hand account. And of course, finally, there's the account of extraterrestrial life forms consuming mass numbers of humans every few hundred years. This would be an event so catastrophic and of such great consequence that it would be almost impossible to keep it secret, let alone hidden from the general public. But believers of the story point out that there are several aspects that could suggest it's based on real events. For one, the depiction of a secretive government committee and confidential meeting is rather consistent with the way governments often handle sensitive information. Governments do indeed have classified programs and committees that are not publicly disclosed, and it's possible that a low-level employee could really stumble on a sensitive meeting or even a document. The story also includes specific details about the meeting room, the VHS tape, and the committee's insignia, which suggests that the author has had personal experiences with these government facilities and procedures. And then the protagonist's emotional state and reactions to the events described in the story are psychologically plausible, which could indicate that the author is drawing from his own personal experiences, or at least he's got some understanding of his own psychology. Now, some armchair sleuths have also suggested that the story may be inspired by real-world events such as the Majestic 12 documents or rumors surrounding the Roswell UFO incident. The tape finally stops on a horrifying and gruesome scene. All of the choir and committee members have been eaten. The empty seats are soaked in blood, body parts strewn about everywhere. Survivors are running in chaos, crying in terror as they're about to be eaten next. The tape ends, and the lights come back on. The man in charge tells Worldaway and the group to just sit and chill for an hour before leaving to allow some time to adjust to this dark, secret, and horrifying revelation. And maybe even tells them to grab a few more donuts for the road. I don't know. I wasn't there. And personally, after something like this, I think I'd be a little bit more inclined to grab an entire box of Tim Hortons. Worldaway ends his tale by explaining that he's now on the run. He's living in random hotels. His life is in danger, like he's the living embodiment of the fugitive. Look it up. It's on IMDb. His parting words, "If I don't see you again, Reddit, I appreciate the water cooler conversation." At least that's the gist of the 4-hour tape. I've left a link in the description down below where you can read the entire story. The story of the 4-hour tape exposes the dark and disturbing implications of a government cover-up and an alleged pact with an extraterrestrial species. While it's tempting to want to believe it, I kind of have to admit that I prefer not to. Not because it's unlikely or that it's a clever work of fiction, but rather because of the dark and disturbing implications of such a sinister secret if it is true. In my opinion, it's better for all of us if the story is simply an urban legend, a work of fiction created to entertain and intrigue. But more importantly, I'd like to know, what do you think? Do you believe that the 4-hour tape is real, or is it just a cleverly crafted story? Do you think that the government is capable of keeping such a massive secret from the public, or is this a conspiracy theory with absolutely no basis in reality? And do you prefer muffins to donuts? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button. And since you've made it this far, be sure to click the like button and the share button for more stories just like this one. Thank you so much for watching and sharing your comments. I really enjoy sharing stories of the paranormal, supernatural, the unexplained, well, and the weird. So I hope you've enjoyed this story just as much as I've enjoyed sharing it with you. Until next time, have a great night.
This has been the Supernatural Chronicles. As the Carpathian night fades, many more mysteries remain. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and visit us online at www.supernaturalchronicles.com. Until next time, good night.